Good morning, everyone. Before we start, I'd just like to say, obviously, this is going to be a different stream from how we normally do things. If you look in the description of this video, we don't have any chat rules today, and I've asked the moderators to step down from the stream for the day, to just leave it free flow. There's going to be no chat on stream, but there may be some comments in the comment section and in the chat section which go a little bit in a different direction. So if you don't want to look at chat, don't look at it. I've also made it so that we don't have any rules for this one, essentially. Just, you know, common etiquette. So feel free to use as many emotes as you want, and feel free to share your feelings as you want. We're essentially just going to chat for a little while. I'm going to try and talk about all the things I actually can talk about. So first off, pretty much the only way we can start is that I think I speak for all of us when I say that we're devastated about Yugo's graduation. We are all going to miss Yugo Ausma. And the fact that he's not a part of Noctyx anymore is really fucking devastating. I had a whole script planned for this, and then I realized that if I read a script, it would just sound so robotic and stupid. So I'm just going to free flow this, and at the same time, it's probably going to sound even more stupid in a different way. So I'm just going to ramble, and I hope you guys are okay with that. So just give me a minute from time to time. What I do want to say before anything else starts is the fact that everyone in the community is hurting right now. Whether you were a Yu guy, whether you were a fan of Noctyx, whether you were just a fan of NIJISANJI EN, whether you're just a fan of NIJISANJI, this is a big moment for everyone. Everybody has been affected by this in different ways. And we all need to be understanding of the fact that people deal with that in different ways. So if there are people who lash out, if there are people who are frustrated, we just need to accept that as a fact. And so rather than trying to argue with them, rather than trying to attack them back, rather than trying to start fights in comment sections, in social media, or wherever the hell it is, it would be far better if instead of doing that, you just let them, maybe try to comfort them, and essentially try to support the other people who need support, whether it is other members of the community, whether it is fans of Yugo, whether it is fans of NIJISANJI, whether it is the livers themselves, and especially Noctyx right now. And that's something that's been really touching since the news came out, is the fact that all of the other NIJISANJI EN livers have been so supportive to Noctyx. The fact that none of them really wanted to think about anything else. They just essentially said, give Noctyx your support, take care of Noctyx. And that's another reason that I really wanted to do this today, is because I know that most NIJISANJI members are essentially waiting for Noctyx to say something about this before they feel comfortable saying anything about it. So yeah, we're devastated. I will say now that we have known about this for a little while, which I'm sure a lot of people have known about. I made sure that I got permission that I could say that on stream, is yeah, we've known for a little while that this was coming. We had no idea when it was going to come. We had pretty much no time to prepare for the fact that it was dropping on Wednesday night. And so I do want to make it clear, nobody in Noctyx knew when this was going to happen. And the other 3 members of Noctyx who are currently on holiday did not plan their holidays to avoid this. And I did not plan this Zatsu dance to talk about this. This is just terrible fucking timing. And that's why you probably noticed so many NIJISANJI livers who had things scheduled for around the time needed a break, because it suddenly hit so hard. But we were told that it was going to happen, and it's been weighing on us for quite a while. And I'm sure a lot of you have seen different livers dealing with it in different ways throughout this time. Whether they just weren't getting much sleep, whether they weren't particularly feeling well, whether they were perhaps a little bit more down recently. Legatus. Yeah, it's just one of those things where, why is it making sound? It shouldn't be making sound. I tried to turn off all monetization options, but I can't turn off memberships. Sorry about that. Legatus. Oh, that's annoying. Maybe that'll do it. But yeah, we've essentially known that this was coming. Let me try and fix that real quick. That's aggravating. This should turn it off in a minute. Just disabled it. Okay. And now I lost my train of thought. Fuck. Yeah, essentially we didn't plan for any of this. And I felt really bad because it's something that I do often, is get like way overly tuney, way overly dramatic. Like as soon as the news came out and everybody saw that what was on my schedule with the whole like, we need to talk about the future, ... Everyone was like, oh, they knew this was coming and they've left Fu-chan to deal with this. And no, nobody left me to deal with this. Nobody decided I was going to be a mouthpiece for this. I didn't plan for this to be about this today. It was just bad timing. It just happened. And yeah, we've been carrying this for a while and dealing with it in our own way, because we have all signed contracts and we know what we are allowed to say and what we're not allowed to say. So we've all tried to be professional during this and tried to stay strong and tried not to let our feelings slip through as we do everything else. And that is something that I think a lot of us want to continue as we go forward, is the fact that we're going to continue streaming. I personally am going to continue with Zatsudan after this, and I want it to be a normal Zatsudan. I said earlier, and I even mentioned it on the Amori stream, which again, it was something that I was thinking about, but it wasn't something that I intended to feel so poignant when I said it on the Amori stream, was the fact that everybody grieves in different ways. And one of those ways that people grieve, me personally, I compartmentalize things, which is why it's so hard to be sitting here in front of you all now and trying to talk about this and trying to explain some basic things. I am not quite ready to be talking about this right now, but at the same time, if I didn't do this now, I know it would feel much worse for people if I tried to keep going back to work. And at the same time, I need to be streaming right now, because that's how I'm going to be able to distract myself. That's how I'm going to be able to move forward, is to keep working, keep distracting myself, compartmentalize for now, and deal with it when I can. And there may be other people who need to take breaks. And I understand that there are going to be many fans right now who cannot watch Noctyx right now, who cannot watch NIJISANJI right now, who cannot watch my stream right now. And I want you to understand that we all accept that. There is nobody who's going to be hurt if right now you're hurting at the loss of Yugo and you need to take a break from it. You need to just stay away from everything for right now. Whatever you need to do for now to take care of yourself is what you should do. And that's another part of the whole people grieving in different ways. And I get really annoyed when there are people saying, essentially, why do they keep using the words grieve? Why do they keep using the words loss? Because we are grieving, and we did lose something. Yugo, in fact, yeah. I've seen a lot of people mentioning the fact that we're never going to end up getting to the Noctyx 1-year anniversary, which sucks. We're not going to have 5 of us when we hit the anniversary. But technically, Noctyx have been together for a full year already. Noctyx have been together for a year because 2 months before we started streaming, we were already with each other pretty much every day in Discord calls, trying to calm each other down about the fact that we were going to be NIJISANJI livers, trying to help each other through that stress, trying to guide one another through what kind of content creation we were going to do. I see people in chat saying, doesn't grieve imply... No, it doesn't always. You can grieve for the loss of so many things. And, oh, yeah, that's actually perfect. In the description of this video, I actually linked to a help guide which talks about grief and loss. And one of the main things that they talk about there is the fact that you can grieve over the smallest things that maybe people don't think are so bad. People can say, oh, you haven't lost Yugo Ausma. He just isn't working with you anymore. And yeah, that's true, but it just means that I'm going to be spending a lot less time. And it means that you guys are not going to be seeing Yugo Ausma. And it means that everybody else is going to constantly feel that fact that there was Yugo in Noctyx and now there isn't. And it's fine to feel pain with that. It's fine to have to deal with that on an emotional level. It's whatever your feelings are, they are valid. And so however you have to deal with those, you have to deal with those. And yeah, that's why I linked that in the description. It talks about, I forget the term that they use, but essentially when people will basically shit on your grief, which is something that does happen a lot, unfortunately. People will try to diminish it and say you shouldn't feel bad about this, and it doesn't matter. Whatever you're feeling, you're feeling. Whatever the livers are feeling, they're feeling. Whatever Yugo's feeling currently, Yugo's feeling. And so we all just have to accept that and let people deal with things in their own way. But yeah, that's most of what I wanted to talk about, is just the fact that I need to be able to go back to work. Other livers need to be able to continue their things. There are so many things we're not going to be able to tell you about because of our contracts. All of the questions that I've seen people asking, we're not going to be able to answer, which is why I've also put the link in the description where you can send messages and ask for information from any color themselves, which is what we've been guided to tell you all to do. From that, we can't really say anything else. I just wanted to make it clear that yes, we did know about it beforehand. It was weighing on us. A lot of us haven't been sleeping properly. A lot of us have been feeling really sick. The stress has been getting to us. But it was a surprise when it was announced. And we're just doing our best to get through this and move forward. I do want to reassure the fans that do want to see more Noctyx that we will still be together. This isn't going to scare us away from spending time with each other. And I know that that's going to be a sad fact for people. Like, I've seen it time and time again. People saying the comment, Noctyx will always be 5. I get that people are saying that because they miss Yugo. And we miss Yugo too. But at the same time, we are still going to be Noctyx. We were given other options. But we all knew, like, there was no... Me, Uki, Alvin, and Sunny could not see ourselves as anything other than members of NIJISANJI's Wave 5 Noctyx. There was no way that we wanted to change that. And so I understand that this is going to be hard for people to deal with in the future. But we are going to do our best to continue streaming as usual, working our hardest, and continuing as members of Noctyx. And no, we're not going to get angry if people talk about Noctyx being 5 members. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying don't say that. I'm just saying We just didn't want to leave behind the Noctyx name. We didn't want to do anything else. And we're not going to stop spending time with each other just because we've lost someone. We're still going to be Noctyx with the four of us. We're going to stream together. We're going to do whatever we want to together. And we've still, if anything, this has actually brought us closer together. For the last amount of time, I can't say. We've essentially been back in Discord every day, just like we were in pre-debut, because we've been so fucking stressed and we've been trying to carry this and talking about what we're going to do as we go forward. And yeah, so we want to keep streaming together. We still care about each other so much, and we're still all very much caring about Yugo as well. Because that is, yeah, a lot of people are pointing out Yugo graduated. Yugo has moved on. And that's why I did the 2 posts on Twitter, where I did the one very normal corporate one where it was just, give us some time, we're devastated, please support Noctyx, and then the one that was more in character. Because that's the way that I want to think about Yugo moving on. Yugo is moving forward. Yugo is going to find something else to do, and Yugo's an incredibly talented person. In the last year, we've seen Yugo grow so much as a content creator, as a streamer, as a DJ, just in English, just in how they handle themselves. So I know Yugo's got to do incredible wherever they go in the future. And that's why the in-character response for me was just that Yugo's going back to his timeline. And this time he's going to defeat the androids and do whatever the fuck he wants in his timeline. And just in general, we're all wishing Yugo well and hope that he does have a wonderful future. And we're going to do our best to continue Noctyx as well, to continue our story. And I hope that anybody who is feeling hurt by this does take care of themselves. I hope that all the you guys particularly look after yourselves, do whatever you have to do to make yourselves feel better. And just in general, like I said at the beginning, just understand that there are going to be people who are obviously frustrated, angry, need to release some stress or whatever, and just let them do that in whatever way they want to. Just try to support whoever you can. Support any member of the community you think might need some help. Support the livers who have been so stressed recently. And please do your best to support Noctyx. Especially, like, this right here is really fucking stressful and really out of my comfort zone, but I'm doing my best. And please don't try to make anybody else do this. Please do not continuously ask people what their feelings are, or if they can make some sort of statement. They shouldn't have to. If they want to and when they want to, that's totally okay. But do not expect that Noctyx members have to immediately come back and do this kind of video, or they have to immediately start talking about things, or that any other member of NIJISANJI EN should have to immediately put their feelings on display. Because I see so many people say, oh, if they don't do that, then it means that they don't care or they don't have any feelings. And again, just like I want people in the community to know that they can grieve however they want to, they can deal with this however they want to, you have to let the livers do that too. You have no idea what's going on in the background and how many other things they're dealing with besides this right now. So please just do be kind to each other, take care of each other. And we understand that this is going to be a painful time for everyone, so just do whatever you have to. We'll give you time. Please give us time. And we'll do our best to move forward. Yugo, Noctyx, NIJISANJI EN, and me. We're all just going to do our best to move forward. And let us handle this each in our own way. Thank you so much for being so respectful in the comments section today. I'm going to end this one here, and I'm going to relax for a little bit. I'm going to go get a drink, stretch for a bit, and then I'm going to do my Zatsu down in about 10 minutes. And just, yeah, thank you for being here. I wish I could say more. I can only say if you have any other inquiries, please do take them to Any Color. and just try to look out for each other, whatever it is. Have a good evening and goodbye.